Alright, I'm here to present my signature assessment assignment for EDOL647. This is our PLC for today. I only have one member here. The other two couldn't stay. But what I chose to figure out a problem inside my classroom and try to work on making the problem better. So the next slide is my vision statement, and it's my goal that PLCs would be a collaborative time spent between colleagues and school leadership, focusing on the needs of our students. This would not be time spent discussing anything other than what our students need to succeed. PLC should be an open forum for teachers and administration to discuss what our students need to succeed and how everyone involved can help them reach their goals. It should be a judgment-free zone where teachers can admit their struggles without fear of retribution from the administration, and where everyone works to ensure that all teachers have the opportunity to be effective. That's what I feel, or how I feel PLC should be and what it should be about, and I feel as if we have, and our other colleagues have done this. Alright, the requirements for this, part one, the first step was to identify a problem within my classroom. Second step was to select a strategy, intervention to implement to work on the problem. Third thing was plan the strategy and article that will be used in your classroom. And then the part two requirements is step 4, write up the intervention, give feedback, changes, how did it work, didn't it work. Step 5, summarize and analyze the data. And then 6, reflect on the next step. So what am I going to do once I've analyzed and reflected the data? How can I make it better? What can I tweak? What can I change? Alright, part 1. What's my problem inside my classroom? Alright, one problem that I found in my classroom is the lack of technology tools. My problem would be effective use of technology inside my science classroom. Before Christmas break, my students didn't have access to technology at our school on a daily basis, so we would have to share a computer lab maybe every other day. And this hindered my use of technology, and in our district they're big on the use of technology. We just recently got enough Chromebooks for our 6th through 8th grade students, so each student has their own Chromebook. And this has allowed me to add a ton more technology inside my classroom. Strategy to fix the problem. One intervention or tool that I could use to begin implementing technology in my classroom is the use of gizmos. Gizmos is fairly new, and I was introduced to it last year, but couldn't use it effectively until these students got assigned individual Chromebooks. It's an online program that's math science oriented, and it addresses students' needs in kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. Positives of the gizmo, it's a great because it gives an individualized report to the students. So as the students are working, it'll show an individualized report of the progress. In addition, it feels more like a play, fun type interaction. Students enjoy it. They're doing work but really don't realize it. And then negative would be the price of the gizmo district wide. So it's a very expensive program. That's the only negative that I saw with it. Article and information, if you'd like to read about why technology is important in the classroom, here's a link we can go to. And then here is the Explore Learning, which is the Gizmos website that tells why Gizmos is so successful and would be good inside the classroom. Okay, part 2. Trial 1. On the first day, students were introduced to the program. They were very enthusiastic about it. They really enjoyed getting in there and interacting. The accounts were created by me, and we've done a tutorial of the program. The first thing I saw was students being able to use the interaction or simulation with gizmos. They really didn't understand how to use the program yet. Besides that, they was able to navigate through the website well, and they were picking out lessons for themselves they thought they may needed to work on. One problem that was evident was students staying on task. After the first couple of days, I started noticing students were logging on to YouTube and other distracting sites. I was unsure how to address this since I couldn't watch every student all at once. So that was the biggest issue I found after maybe 3 days of using gizmos, was students not staying on task and being on games or YouTube. Trial 2. Once I realized that students were struggling with the concept, I was able to address in my instruction, and this prompted me to spend more time covering gravity and Newton's 3 laws of motion in class for a few days. And students were eventually able to complete the gravity lesson with ease. I also was able to show students how to use the simulations with ease. I've done this on my Mondo board, which is what I'm using right now, and it goes crazy sometimes. The number of questions answered the first time was not too good, but the second time it had went up greatly, the number of questions answered correctly. When I went back and looked at the number of questions that students had answered for the second try, I noticed the number was a lot higher with the questions that were answered correct. To address the issue of students getting on websites other than Gizmo, I found a feature that allowed me to see who was logged on and working at the exact time. So I could see who was working with Gizmo offered this, and I didn't know it, who was working, and if time was elapsed or if they were in idle mode. So I was able to tell who was actually working at the time. Even if I was moving around the room, who was and was not working, this worked wonders, and students were much less distracted once I called them down a few times, let them know I was monitoring and could see if they were working or not working. Data analysis. I've done my 10 students, so you can see first try on the Gizmo quiz at the end of the unit. First student scored a 60, second 85, student 2 80, second try 100, student 3 first try 75, second try 90, student 4 first try 60, second try was a 70, student 5 scored the same on the first and second try, student 6 scored a 90 the first try, 100 second try, student 7 scored a 75 on the first try, 95 on the second, student 8 scored a 55 on the first try, 70 on the second, student 9 scored a 70 on the first try, an 85 on the second try, student 10 scored a 90% on the first try and a 95 on the second, and this was on a 100-point grading scale. Summary, students were able to pick up on how to use gizmos very quickly and enjoyed doing the simulations. After minor adjustments to things like addressing how many questions students were answering and talking with them about taking their time, not trying to speed through the lessons, students were able to use it more efficiently. Using the live feature was also very beneficial in keeping the students from being distracted while they were supposed to be on task and working. I was very glad that I found this feature since the material on gizmos is targeted towards the Common Core state standards and is very good practice for my students. Next steps. Having gizmos as an addition to my classroom has been great, but not without its flaws. Some students can fly through the lessons that I give them, while others are struggling to get through. To address this issue, I decided to give students a list of gizmo lessons they needed to have complete on a weekly basis. So, and what I've done, the students who were getting done quickly and doing well, I actually put them on 9th grade. Let's say I put my 8th graders on 9th grade gizmos, 6th graders doing 7th, and gave them that more challenging task, and I think that's fixed the problem of them working through it more quickly. Also ask students who are not keeping up to work on theirs for homework if they have internet access at home. Also during RTI period, if they're finished or caught up with other things, I ask the teachers if they could work on this during RTI, which most of the time doesn't happen because we're more focused on math and reading. But that's my presentation for today. Thank you, Mr. Hudson, for staying with me and letting me present to you. But thank you for watching the video.